What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video. And in today's video, well, we're going to be talking about another Netmarble boo-boo.
Oh shit, here we go again.
We do this way too often. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Operation Kitty Stones, those ever-elusive stones that everybody has been talking about over the course of the past couple of weeks for EX Angel and BS Leona, as well as other characters that you may or may not decide to put them on, which I wouldn't recommend, but you can do that if you really want to. It's up to you. But anyway, I digress. In today's video, more importantly, we're going to be talking about Ramon's Roulette event because, unfortunately, yeah, the RNG in this game extends itself to some of these events sometimes, and unfortunately, they can't all be winners, kid. So we're going to talk about that in today's video, but before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. And without further ado, you already know what time it is. Cue that intro. Alright, you guys, so in today's video I wanted to go ahead and sit down and talk about a couple of events that came along with the EX Volume 2 update, because as we inch towards the finish line for these events, there is something that has started to kind of rear its ugly head for quite a few people out there in the community, and I just wanted to go ahead and bring some attention to it. So the events in question are going to be Ramon's Relay Roulette, as well as Angel's Crafting event, right? So there's a couple different things here, and technically I guess we could say that this is three separate events that make really one event, because we also have Angel's Gift event that is part of this as well, and we'll kind of be talking about all three of them. So what we're going to be talking about is, of course, the random chance nature that comes along with this roulette wheel, and the fact that a lot of people out there are, unfortunately, by the end of this event, going to find themselves unable to finish Angel's Gift event, and therefore are not going to be able to pick up the rest of these coins. As you guys can see here, these guys here are going to be at the end of this track. You can get up to 60 of them if you finish the entire thing, and in order to be able to pick up one of the Operation Kitty Stones that are on the crafting event, you will need to pick those up unless you're planning on whaling. Of course, we've talked about in the past in the secret shop, there are going to be whale packages that do correspond with the Operation Kitty Stones. If we go in here, basically I'll be able to show you guys again real quick, so long as the PC client doesn't crash again, that we do have the Imprint Stone Crafting package here. You can get up to 60 of these in here, as well as the rest of these items, for $50. So there is an alternative to being able to pick up those Angel tokens in order to feed those to the Angel Crafting event in order to pick up the Operation Kitty Stone. However, it is very, very pricey. So therefore, for the players out there that are going to be unable to get through all of this in order to be able to pick these things up, of which I've seen quite a few people out there who are not going to be able to get there, unfortunately, they are not going to have a whole lot of recourse. Because really, the way that this thing worked out by the end of this event is if you were not doing these bingos each and every single day and getting lucky enough to be able to hit bingo on these guys here, well, unfortunately, suffice it to say, a lot of people have found themselves pretty much at the midway point, maybe a little bit higher of this event, and they're unfortunately not going to be able to get to the end of this track by the end of the 4 days that are remaining on all these different events. So of course, the one event that is going to be exempt from that 4-day cutoff is going to be Angel's Crafting event. As you guys can see here, this is going to have a full 11 days left on it, so you'll have extra time. I get the feeling that they do this because it requires a lot of these guys here from Chapter of Fight, so they give you some extra days to pick these up if you need them, especially after crafting this guy here. So basically, this is another Netmarble boo-boo, right? We've talked about a lot in the past recently about the fact that Netmarble has been really dumbing down these events for a lot of people out there. These events have become a lot less rewarding. These events, for whatever reason, Netmarble, and I've noticed a theme with Netmarble with this stuff. Netmarble likes to come up with an idea that on paper is really, really good, and they'll release it, and none of us really have any major complaints about it, i.e. these types of crafting events that do have these stones involved with them for these new EX fighters. This is something that we really don't have much of an issue with. When this originally happened with the 3 Sacred Treasures team, with this past EX update for EX Kyo, nobody really batted an eyelash because it was pretty easy to be able to pick one of these up for free. If you wanted both of them, then you could go ahead and buy a package like we've already outlined they have in there for these ones currently. And it wasn't really that big of a deal because at the end of the day, the free-to-plays got an extra stone, and all of the pay-to-play players were able to pick up both, and everybody was happy. However, being the fact that they decided to make this current one so much different from that past one, and not in a positive way, but more so now we know in a negative way, unfortunately, a lot of people are very, very upset, and rightfully so, I feel like. Now, of course, I cannot account for the amount of people out there that just have not been doing their dailies. You know, when I did the update breakdown on these events, I told you guys it was of the utmost importance to make sure that you were doing the events every day, which if you guys didn't know, basically you can go in, and that is the wrong one. If you go up here to your events in your mission tab, basically you'll notice that you can pick up to 15 of these a day for free. So as you guys can see, doing these 3 missions here, you get 15 total tickets, 5 apiece. And then when it comes to doing anything else in here, you want to do your ads and so on and so forth. And you should end up with a total of 25 of these roulette tickets each and every single day, right? So for the people out there that haven't been doing those things, I can't help you, right? There's nothing I can tell you. If you're not playing every day, if you're not doing your dailies every day, not much there that can be said. Honestly, if you're not going to be playing the game, then you don't deserve the rewards, I'm going to be honest. However, the people out there that just have not gotten lucky on this roulette wheel, they can't hit bingos because, you know, maybe they'll have these, I call them toilet paper, but they're towels. But these towels here, if they can't hit bingos on a couple of days or whatever the case may be over the course of the event, and they end up getting really unlucky with their rolls, well, all of a sudden, those unlucky rolls become compounded in the issues that they cause, because all of a sudden, for the people out there that got super unlucky, now they have to go over here and they have to look at these packages, of which there really isn't a good option, because I'll kind of go through them, but really none of them are good options. But basically, it's going to eventually force you to have to spend money if you want the stone. So like, for instance, the 2 options you would have here, you really have 2. You have these 2 right here, right? So this one here is kind of like the quote-unquote dolphin one. So this is $10. It's going to come with some rubies, yes, it's 800 of them, so not anything too crazy. I love that they have the audacity to call the 400 here free. It's like, no, they're wrapped into the $10 price tag. But basically for the $10, you get the 800 rubies, you get 30 of the roulette tickets proper, so that's basically just shy of a day's worth of those. You get an extra 5 there, so you get a little extra on top of what your daily dose of tickets would be. And then you also get 2 of these first aid kits. Now, these first aid kits, I don't know how much they feed the meter one way or the other on that gift event. I have not obviously bought any of these, and I don't plan to. But basically, if you see these guys here, you'll get 2 of them, which is nice. You can feed that to that gift event, but unfortunately, I get the feeling that that isn't going to make or break the difference for you as far as getting to the end and being able to pick up that stone, right? So really the big selling point here is the 30 roulette tickets. But again, this is also going to be RNG, because if you pick up these 30 roulette tickets, you still have to be able to hit the bingos, right? So there's that. Now, if you're somebody that has extra money and would like to be able to just outright avoid the entire situation at hand here, you could go ahead and for $50 pick up this package that we've talked about and we've already referenced in this video today. But for $50, you better really like Leona or Angel in order to be able to spend $50 just for a stone. My God. So we've talked about how much I hate this package. I think this package is ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. So in general, at the end of the day with these events, we've talked about many times here on the channel, many times here on the channel about how, you know, these events recently have gotten a lot less rewarding, and that is very true in my mind. I think that Netmarble, if you really take a look at some of these events recently, particularly things like the towers, they have become very different compared to where they were even a couple of months ago. a lot of these events have become a lot less rewarding. It seems like Netmarble cannot resist the urge to mess with things, because they'll come up with an idea for an event or events that tie into each other that work and nobody really has much of an issue with in one update, and then an update later they'll return with similar events. However, they decided to change things around with those events, and while those events previously were things we didn't have a problem with, the changes to them end up making them a giant heaping pile of poop. So in my opinion, this event here, the biggest issue was the random nature of everything. If they hadn't made us have to use this roulette wheel in order to pretty much dictate how much progress we were going to make in the gift event, we really wouldn't have much of an issue and we wouldn't be here today. I know that this isn't an issue that affects everyone either. I know that a lot of people out there are good little boys and girls and they do their dailies every day, and they may or may not have gotten as extremely unlucky with this roulette wheel as some people have. But the reality is anytime you introduce RNG into any event whatsoever, it is going to leave certain people in the cold. And unfortunately, this is no different. So kind of like what you're seeing right here, this is kind of the case for a lot of people. They'll get to the point where they have two of these guys here and they can't hit a roulette to save their lives for the bingo. And I got the last one, so that was good timing. But you guys know what I mean, right? So if you take a look here, last thing I'll kind of throw in here, you can spend rubies to go ahead and try and go through this and get extra spins. As you guys can see, it costs 25 rubies here. I think it's somewhere in the vicinity of 600 or so rubies in order to kind of emulate the 25 spins that you would normally get for free each day for doing your events and your ads and what have you. So you can go that route. I would argue that that would be a better value than buying a package, in my opinion. You know, I would value your IRL money more than your fake currency here in the game, because you can't take it with you, boys. But in general, I really do think that this event, it needs some work, right? It needs some work. I don't know what it is that I would tell Netmarble to do going forward as far as any sort of changes to this. I think that the best thing for them to do is try not to leave these different events up to chance like that. I think that that would honestly be their best bet. Now, of course, at the end of the day, I get the feeling that I'm going to end up getting pretty darn close here. I think that there is a chance I can finish this, but it's going to come down to the wire. And I've been doing my dailies every day. You guys know me. I don't really ever take a day off of this game. I never have. So there's no such thing as me not doing dailies. But in general, I really don't know that I'll be able to do it either. I've seen people that, heck, they haven't even broke level 10 on this thing yet. So, you know, it is what it is. It comes down to your RNG. All you can do is just collect as many chances as you can, spin the wheel, and pray. So it just is what it is, you guys. I hope Netmarble learns from this, because I know a lot of people have taken to the forums, Discord, what have you, and have been complaining about this. At the end of the day, I can totally understand where people are coming from. This, to me, is just another iteration of what we've talked about, like I said, which is Netmarble keeps nerfing rewards. So anyway, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below if you're going to be able to finish this event. I'm very curious to see how many people out there are going to be able to secure themselves that Operation Kitty Stone. Heck, you can even let me know in the comment section which one of the Operation Kitty Stones you're planning on using your tokens on. But with that being said, you guys, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And until the next time, you all take care. Peace.
Continue.